What's good, everybody? It's Koga for 30 here, and welcome back to another Pokemon challenge video. Now, we all love shiny Pokemon, right? That feeling of getting your first ever shiny was a thrill that you'll never forget. However, for this challenge, we're gonna need all the shinies we could get, as we're attempting to beat one of the hardest Pokemon ROM hacks ever made. That's right, we're gonna beat Radical Red using only shiny Pokemon. So hit that like and subscribe button, as honestly, this video took me a very long time to make. I'm personally not a competitive Pokemon player, so learning about stats and natures and what to use for each gym leader was honestly a really fun experience. Also, I know there's a code you can put in to make every encounter instantly shiny, but where's the fun in that? We gotta do this legit, which means we have to grind for our shinies, and we have to earn each of our shinies we get. And a little disclaimer before we start the video, I know 4.0 has already been released, but by the time it was released, I was already at Blaine. So this video is going to be on the 3.1 version instead. But if you want to see a video on 4.0, ask in the comments. I might stream a Nuzlocke attempt for 4.0 because it seems really interesting. I mean, watching other people play it, it looks really fun. If you want to see that, ask in the comments. So now let's get into the video. When trying to come up with a name for my main character, I decided to name myself after the #1 shiny collector in the world and well-renowned YouTube poop creator, Tamotoa. Cause who doesn't love shiny things more than him? What a legend. But now it was time to decide what my starter would be. And for my first starter and my first attempt at shiny hunting, it would be a Trico, as his shiny looks amazing. I heard that in this game, he turns from just a regular grass type Pokemon to a grass dragon. And honestly, that sounds amazing. So it's a great Pokemon early on, and that'll be my safest bet to actually progress through this game. However, now lies the issue of getting it, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for all of you. This took me forever. I mean, I'm not gonna show you the hours upon hours of footage that I have that I had to just delete, or else my storage space would literally be at 0. But man, I thought at first I was shiny locked, but it turns out after so many hours, I mean,
so much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
I finally got myself a shiny Trico. So now the run can finally, and I mean finally, begin. The first rival fight was actually pretty easy, as I was never in any real danger as the Trico had an Orb Berry to use. So that was it. I was able to easily take down the Charmander and head into Viridian Forest because I wasn't in the mood to shiny hunt just yet. I wanted to get through the story first to see what was up. They added something new in the Viridian Forest, as I didn't expect to see Brandon chilling there with his non-shiny Trico trying to research some Pokemon. He decided to challenge me to a battle, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was super easy. I may or may not have already gotten a shiny Trico to the level cap, but regardless, he was fairly easy to defeat. Once Brandon was defeated, he gave me the EXP share and some device to check for IVs and EVs, but 2 battles playing on minimal mode, so all my Pokemon, regardless of whether or not it was shiny or not, were going to have perfect IVs. Still a pretty neat device if it weren't for my crippling addiction to shiny hunting. But now we're going to head out of the forest in order to face Brock and get our first gym badge. Also, some random lass that was stuck in the woods gave me some free infinite repels, so I'll make shiny hunting that much more faster. In theory, that is. Once I finally made it into Pewter City, I was already met with a major obstacle, as Brock's gym was currently closed, and they told us to head to the museum instead, and once I got there is where the difficulty of this ROM hack actually revealed itself. Because in the museum was Johto gym leader Falkner, and he offered to battle us, and I thought, honestly, this fight shouldn't be too difficult, as my Trico is level 15, and Rock Tomb should do well against his bird Pokemon, but oh my god, his first Pokemon that he sent out literally destroyed me. This might be an issue. So in this game, I need to defeat Falkner first before I could challenge Brock. But every time I try to challenge him, his Pokemon would immediately end me. I couldn't get past his Rufflet. So I'm forced to find another shiny Pokemon that can stand any chance in this run. However, while I was panicking trying to find any Pokemon that could even take down Falkner's Pokemon, I was shocked to see that this random old man was offering me an egg for a staggering 5k Pokédollars. But luckily I had a bottle cap and nuggets that were just enough to get me an egg. The odds are still, I believe, 1 in 8,000, but maybe I could keep soft resetting until I get a shiny. But when it was time to finally hatch the egg was another bunch of eggs. An Execute, that's not really gonna do much against Falkner. Even if it is grass and psychic, it's still gonna get one shot by everything. So the egg was a bust. Time to come up with another plan. And for my plan B, I was going to try to find myself a shiny Phanpy. Now, I know the shiny technique in this game is to get them up to a chain level 100 and then keep going, because it goes up to level 22 and then you can find a shiny easier. But since I'm at the first gym, I can't really do that, and it just keeps up maxing out at level 15, which isn't the technique. I mean, I don't know if it works or not, but trying to find a shiny Phanpy took me a really long time. But I was not going to give up. I wanted to beat Falconer. I was not going to end an attempt until I got myself a shiny Phanpy. And even though it took me a few hours, I finally got myself a shiny Phanpy. Honestly, I couldn't even really tell the difference at first, but this one looked clear and it was perfect. Now I can finally take on Falconer and see what he can do. The rematch with Falconer actually took me a few tries again, since Peaches kept missing rollout over and over again on the first turn, ruining my run. Or the Rufflet would get a crit slash, which would immediately end it because I needed Peaches to at least get a few more rollouts in. But eventually I was able to defeat it due to the AI being really dumb and sending out Corviknight for absolutely no reason. I'll take the win though. I mean, a win's a win. But now it's time to take on the Beast Incarnate himself, Brock. And I accidentally defeated him on my first try and didn't even record it. Let's try that again, shall we? So now I have to beat Brock a second time just because I accidentally forgot to record. But hey, I love you guys so much that I'll just beat up Brock again. And this fight was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, even with Trico and Peaches. This fight was actually tough. So my whole plan of the fight was to get rid of the Geodudes and Onix and Sturdy by just using Quick Attack first and then Mega Drain so I could get my whole health back. But for some reason, after my first attempt that I easily beat him, Brock would switch at random times and just end my run for absolutely no reason. But this time, luckily, he stayed in, which meant my Trico and Phanpy were able to easily beat Brock this time and get my first gym badge. Wow, this first gym badge was really tough. I mean, I got 7 more to go. I might not be prepared for this. Just when I was about to leave Pewter City, I was stopped by one of the professor's assistants and they actually gave me a Dynamax band. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, to see the stuff in Sword and Shield in this game is honestly amazing. Which, you know what that means? Yep, you read that right. We can take on raid dens. I don't know if you can get shinies in those. I mean, it's probably same odds, but hey, that's really cool to see. There was a den immediately right by the entrance of Mount Moon, so I decided to jump in and see what it was all about. We had to face off against a Galarian Meowth, which sadly wasn't shiny, so I wasn't going to use it. But the fact that we could raid farm for some really good items was actually really neat. I didn't know how they were able to implement it into the game, so kudos to them. This is actually really amazing. But before heading into Mount Moon, I had to head back to Route 22 to get myself a shiny Sandygast. I really wanted to get the shiny version of this because it looks so cool. It's just a black sand with the, I believe it's a gold shovel or just a yellow one, but either way, it looks amazing. So I wanted to use it for my team as I never really used a Sandygast in Sun and Moon. So hey, I decided, why not? Let's give it a shot. And now it's finally time to head into Mount Moon. And during my travels through Mount Moon, there were a lot, and I mean a lot of Pokemon to choose from. I could attempt to get either a Drillbur, Mudbray, Mawile to get a potentially a Mega Mawile, that might be useful later on, or even a Cranidos. I mean, there are so many options, I just don't know what to choose from. Once I got down to the lower floors where Team Rocket were lurking about, my actual shiny attempt was going to happen, as I decided to pick a Pawniard as my shiny attempt. But I actually needed the Pawniard because near the end of Mount Moon, there's a really tough Rocket admin fight where the Mightyena will just spam Howls and use Ice Fang, basically ending my entire team, and I'll just get swept so easily. I couldn't get past that Mightyena, so I need a shiny hunt for another party member so I could try to beat the Rocket admin and get out of Mount Moon. I mean, I was stuck in there for quite a while, but after a few hours, I finally found it, the shiny Pawniard. And I accidentally killed it. Let's try that again. Now I caught it. Okay, now we can get on to the Rocket admin fight. Oh no. Honestly, in this fight, it felt like Archer was cheating. For the first few attempts, the AI knew what I was going to use and just kept baiting my every move. My initial plan was to let the fake out happen first turn, then Archer would immediately pivot to his Mightyena, knowing it could tank a few revenge hits. That's when I would use Rooster to use Torment, so it couldn't spam Howl and just end my run right then and there. causing my revenge to do more damage since it was forced to hit me. It took me a few tries to get this plan working, but finally I was able to defeat the mighty Anna after a few revenge hits. An annoying obstacle take it down, and I was finally able to escape Mount Moon and take on Misty. And when I got to Cerulean City, I was offered either a Wonder Egg or a Hisuian Egg by this old woman, which actually would be really cool to have a Hisuian Pokemon. But I don't think that would have been shiny either way. And even though I got the egg hatched into a Rufflet, which sadly wasn't shiny. So I wasn't going to be able to use it on my team, which sucks because Braviary ain't that bad actually. The rival fight was so easy, I just didn't record it because I was like, oh, it was that easy? I was like, what's happening here? What's going on? But after the fight, my Phanpy evolved into a Donphan, and I really love this shiny design. It looks 10 out of 10. I can't believe I already got a full evolution before the second gym. Too bad I can't do much against Misty though. Also near the end of the route where Bill's house is, at the end you have the option to face Bugsy, another Johto gym leader. Hey Blaine, what's with all these Johto gym leaders lurking around Kanto? What's going on here? He's not too bad compared to Falconer though. I just spammed rollout till everyone faded. But I luckily had everything really low where Jet could just outspeed the Scyther and finish the fight. Also they turned Bugsy into this sad, hopeless romantic. I mean, get a room man, what's wrong with you? And honestly, do I even need to say anything about the Misty fight? Mega Drain for the win plus a Yachi Berry made this fight tremendously easy. That's 2 badges down, only 6 more to go. Actually, the gym badges haven't been that tough actually. I might actually be able to do this. So my initial plan was to get a shiny Mareep to go try to take down Surge in the SS Anne. But it turns out that Mareep only spawned at night while Pachirisu spawned in the day. So that plan kind of backfired. I know there's a way to switch from day to night. I just didn't realize where it was because I thought it was near the end of the game and not so close to the beginning. So that's my fault. So no Mareep for now, but we're gonna get a different shiny instead. And for my next shiny hunt, I would try to hunt for a shiny Sizzlipede. Now, it turns out that the Gigantamax forms are actually in this game. They're just transformed into Mega Stones instead, which is still really cool. I mean, I could get a Mega Sizzlipede, which I loved using in Pokemon Shield. That thing carried me basically to the Elite Four or whatever it was, that tournament. It basically carried me to that. So I would love to use a Sizzlipede again, especially when I gotta face my rival again, go on the SS Anne, and take on Surge. This might be actually my MVP of the run. But after only an hour actually, I was kind of surprised how fast this was. I was able to capture a shiny Sizzlipede. But I'm gonna be honest with you, if I didn't have the shiny animation going to see if it actually was a shiny or not, I would actually have no idea what a shiny was for this version. Because this looks completely the same. The two Silphipedes look the same and I have no idea what the difference is. Maybe the green on the back, but that's it. But luckily I was able to capture this Sizzlipede and go on to the SS Anne. So let's see just how tough this place truly is. Going through the SS Anne, at first it was actually not that tough. Most of the people in the rooms had low level Pokemon I could heal, and luckily it wasn't too bad. Until I got to the double battle. This double battle kicked my... This Duat just ended my entire run. I have no idea why it was so strong, but even when I tried to take it down with both Peaches and Jet, it wasn't enough. So this fight was nearly impossible. I had to figure out a strategy and how to beat this guy and fast. Luckily I was able to defeat 2, and then, that's right, there were 2 double battles that were just annoying. And I got up to our rival fight, and it turns out that the rival was Brandon. And the first fight, Brandon absolutely destroyed me. He beat me up. And then I did a reset just to collect my thoughts, and he beat me up again. Okay, what's this fight being super difficult? What is going on here? Why is this so challenging? But after the 5th, that's right, 5th attempt, I was finally able to defeat Brandon. And at first, I thought I had to reset again because the Lunatone defeated both Peaches and Jet. So I thought, great, I have to reset. But Rooster was able to come in clutch and secure me to win. Oh my god, that fight was annoying. You know how to make an annoying fight even more annoying? You have to fight another annoying fight. That's right, I had to take on Surge, and Surge sucked. I hate Surge. I hated this fight. I hated his stupid electric gimmick. I hated his stupid Alolan Raichu. I hated everything about him. This fight was annoying. He cheated. I swear the AI was cheating the entire time. I had three strategies, right? Three strategies I was going to use. First one failed after 10 attempts. The second one failed after 10 attempts. And the third one didn't even get started because for some reason, Surge kept randomly switching in and out because he knew what moves I was going to use, right? He knew what I was going to use and he would melee switch because he knew I was going to do, let's say, a ground attack, right? Switch out his stupid Alola Raichu, which didn't get affected. So great, I had to just keep resetting and attempting it. So screw Surge, he cheats. I hate his stupid electric types and I hope I never see them again. I'm just done. This wasn't even scripted too. I was just literally, the script says rage. I don't even know what happened. I was just raging. I was so mad. I just hate Surge. I'm done. So after many failed attempts, I decided I needed some help. I needed a VGC champion to help carry me through Surge. And who is that VGC champion, you may ask? It was Pachirisu. Yeah, I was basically just going to use Prank Surge, just spam Confuse Rays, and just kind of get a little paralysis in there from here and there. That was basically my plan. I didn't care if it was cheap or not. Surge was being annoying, so I decided, you know what? I'm going to fight fire with fire. Screw Surge, he wasn't going to beat me this time. So, okay, for context here, I was going to show you how long the actual file was just for this one Surge fight. Because I just sat here and just tried to relax, take a deep breath, and see how long it took me to beat Surge in just one sitting. I was like, you know what? It's the weekend when I was recording this. I'm going to relax and just see how long it takes me to fight him. It's about 28 minutes of footage, right? At 500% turbo. Yeah, I was playing through turbo. So technically, if you put it back, if you push it back, if I just played straight through without any turbo, this footage would be about like, what, 4 hours? 5 hours-ish? That's basically how long it took me to beat Surge. I hated this battle. I hated it so much. I'm not even going to show it. I don't even want to show it. I'm just going to show the end because I was just over this fight. Surge was just so annoying. He just cheated. Such a cheater. After going through the worst Pokemon experience I have ever had in any game, I mean, that was just rough. On my way to Rock Tunnel, my little Sizzipede finally grew up and evolved into a Centiskorch. Soon my pile of sand can also evolve, but I guess we'll just have to wait on that one. Also, Jet reached his final evolution and evolved into a Sceptile. I mean, I'm gonna give this Sceptile Draco Meteor immediately and watch it tower over my enemies. Well, at least hopefully that happens, but we'll have to see. Either way, Grass Dragon, amazing, and hopefully it can keep going and help me try to complete Radical Red. I feel like the game's actually rewarding me at this point, because not only did Jet and Centiskorch evolve, but also Pawniard as well, meaning I had almost a complete set of fully evolved Pokemon before the 4th gym badge. Honestly, I'm gonna take that as a win. And for some reason, hey, wait a minute. Terrakion, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Okay. I mean, I could get you shiny, but I don't think I have Rock Smash yet, so later, Terrakion. Shockingly enough, when I left Lavender Town to the left side of the route to take on a raid den just for fun to get some nuggets and free stuff to sell, I found myself a random shiny Venipede. Now, I wasn't even shiny hunting for one, I just randomly went to a counter to see what's in the bushes, and I just found this random shiny Venipede. I mean, what are the odds? This was so lucky and so random. I just fought a Venipede in the raid den and I just got a shiny one? What are the odds? I mean, that was lucky. And now, thanks to a new level cap, I can easily evolve it into a Whirlipede and then eventually a Scolipede. I mean, I'm so shocked that I got a shiny Venipede to begin with. That was just super lucky. I'm just so shocked. And then when I finally reached Cerulean City, I could give this random old man some blue shards for a starter egg. It could be either water, grass, or fire. And this time I decided I wanted a water one. And this time I got myself a little Poplio. Sadly can't be shiny, but hold on to the Poplio actually. I may have an idea on how to get a shiny Poplio in the end. You just gotta wait and see. Just wait. And since I was in Cerulean City, I thought, you know what, might as well try to take down Erica and her terrifying grass type Pokemon. And so far, I mean, my god, look at Centiskorch go. Wow. I mean, I thought this fight would be pretty tough at first because she has some pretty good counters on my team actually. I mean, Donphan can't do much. The sand can't do much, even Sceptile can't do that much either, but for some reason, this fight was pretty easy. It only took me 2 attempts because I thought at first that Electrode, the Hisuian Electrode mind you, would be pretty tough, but no. But the Hisuian Electrode decided, you're not going to revel in your victory, screw you, and he blew himself up. Well, I'll take that easy win. Only 4 more gym badges to go. But as I was heading down into the Team Rocket hideout to take down Giovanni, I just had an epiphany. Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't there a Johto gym leader in Lavender Town that I completely forgot to battle? And I just realized, oh my god, I forgot to take down Morty. So I decided, hold up, wait a minute, we're gonna take down the Team Rocket hideout last. But first we gotta take down Morty and his terrifying ghost type Pokemon. Would you believe me that I had more trouble fighting Morty than I did fighting Surge? Because, man, that Mimikyu and Hisuian Zoroark were beating me up. For some reason, I wasn't having that much rage though when facing Morty. This was actually a really fun fight because I actually had to strategize on what to do and how to do it. Because, not gonna lie, once that Hisuian Typhlosion went down to Sandy, it was basically all uphill from there. Because Duskador didn't have anything really to defeat my Sceptile with. I could easily take down Duskador with just one crunch, and then set up with Flame Charge to get super fast so nothing can outspeed me, and that was basically it. I mean, this fight was honestly really fun. Difficult, yes, but just really fun. And now since Morty was taken down and finally done with, it was time to head back to the Team Rocket hideout and take down Giovanni. And so far the fight wasn't going too bad. I mean, the Infernape wasn't too bad, the Rotom was only giving me trouble because just really unlucky at times, but the main problem, not the Honchkrow, but the main problem was the Mega Kangaskhan. I had no answer for the Mega Kangaskhan, except for one thing. Toxic Stall BB. Yup, I was gonna cheese it by just stalling it to death. And that was how I easily beat Giovanni. I mean, I should have thought that sooner. I mean, I was fighting this guy for 30 minutes straight. I should have thought that sooner. It would have been so much more easier. But I finally did it and Giovanni was able to be taken down. Next up, the Pokemon Tower. When entering through the Pokemon Tower, I was really confused because there was no rival fight in sight. But, oh my god, wait a minute, a shiny Marowak? What's going on here? At first, I was freaking out because I was thinking, what is going on here? A shiny Marowak? But apparently that's a normal thing in the game, which, honestly, I was kind of sad. I thought this was a really cool event that I just got really lucky with. But no, apparently it was just meant to happen anyway. Yeah, just Toxic Stall to death, and that's basically how I won. Not a bad fight, but hey, I'm just gonna Toxic spam until I can't no more. Just take the free wins when I can, because this thing was level 58. It was terrifying. It was one-shotting everything. So, I was able to Toxic Stall it, and was just able to rest in peace. But after clearing out all the Team Rocket grunts and saving Mr. Fuji, he gave me a Pokeflute. So you know what this means? I can grind for some shiny Snorlaxes, yay! That I never got because every time I tried to, it would just take hours upon hours upon hours, and honestly, I was kind of sick of it. I mean, I tried so hard to get a shiny Snorlax. I could have probably fought Sabrina to get a shiny charm, but I didn't know that because I was kind of going in this semi-blind. I just wanted to see the teams and what they had to kind of prep, but for the most part, I was just going in blind. And yeah, I tried so hard to get this Snorlax, it just wasn't happening. I would try 2 hours every day for like a week, and it just wasn't happening. This why this whole thing took longer than it should have. I was just trying to get this one Snorlax, and it just wasn't happening. Oh well, sad to say, no Snorlax for this run, but hey, there are plenty of better Pokemon out there waiting for me. Although I did catch one just for the leftovers. That I will admit to, because I did catch one just for the leftovers, and those leftovers are going to come in very clutch, especially for the Elite Four and the Champions, so it's a must-have, especially since you can't get it anywhere else. So yeah, catch the 2 Snorlaxes, even if they're non-shiny or not, just make sure to get the 2 leftovers, because they are a priority. But upon returning to Cerulean City to get to the game corner, I know there's one area where you could buy TMs, but I didn't know you could also buy some shiny Pokemon here that were pseudo legendaries. So I had a lot of options to choose from. I mean, look at this. Dino, Gumi, Dreepy, Honedge, Toxel. I mean, they were amazing Pokemon. But for this one, I wanted my main boy, Honedge, because Honedge is amazing. It was amazing in X and Y, and I'm going to keep using it, especially since I can get a shiny for it, even though the price is ridiculous. 200,000? Are you kidding me? That was basically my entire money. But it was worth it, as I got myself a shiny Honedge and had to replace one Pokemon, and that sadly had to be poor Scolipede. But don't worry, Scolipede will return. But now is where everything falls apart, as now we have to head into Silph Co to take down Giovanni and our rival and save this crazy organization from the hands of Team Rocket. And this is honestly the toughest part. Well, it's the toughest part so far, as now we're getting more intense fights and now we gotta take on our rival and Giovanni again. But luckily I had a Duck Stone and I was able to evolve my Doublade into an Aegislash. I mean, it's just a perfect Pokemon. Look how cool it looks, especially shiny. I mean, man, it's just a 10 out of 10 shiny. It just looks so good. But before I head any further into Silph Co, I decided to get the last leftovers for the Snorlax and head left to see if I missed anything. And it turns out I missed Whitney. I mean, I didn't even notice she was in the corner. I was like, what are you doing there, Whitney? I decided, you know what? Before I take on Silph Co, I need to beat Whitney first and then head further into Silph Co to take on Giovanni and my rival. And this fight was intense. Even though it took me 4 tries, I honestly feel like I got really lucky with the AI, because for some reason it kept just spamming Roost with Drampa and not doing much. I was just so confused of what it was doing, because it lured an attack, which meant I could just Parafusion it and easily able to win. It was very weird. I have no idea why Whitney was doing that, but hey, I'll take the win. Even if Miltank had burned, the Miltank was still doing tremendous amount of damage, and I was kind of worried that with just a spam of milk drinks that was able to take me down. But it wasn't enough, as Sandy was able to clear out the Miltank and take down D&DD to win me the battle. I'm kind of glad I did get rid of Sandy, because I actually got rid of Scolipede instead, which actually turned to be the right move, as I got an Eviolite, which would have been perfect for Doublade. Oh well, I can't go back now. It is what it is. Also, in the Saffron Dojo gym, a familiar face was there. Yep, for some reason, Chuck was there. The easiest Johto battle ever. I mean, he's a joke in the actual game, but in this one, he's really tough. Even though I was able to defeat him in like 2 attempts, I mean, he was still tough, but man, Aegislash did so much damage, including Rooster too. I mean, all I did was just spam Night Slash. It was able to easily take it out, because for some reason the Brilliant didn't do anything. I was just so confused. I was waiting for it to do something because it kept bulking up and it had Poison Heal. It just didn't do anything. It was really weird. But in the end, I got really lucky, as the Sneasler was able to hit itself in confusion thanks to the Parafusion, meaning Sandy was able to take it down and take down the Sleeping Him on top as well. Chuck down. Now I can finally head to Silph Co to finish what I started. But now with Whitney and Chuck both defeated, it was time to head back into Silph Co and take down my rival and Giovanni and save Silph Co from these crazy Team Rocket people. This fight was honestly really tough, but luckily I had a plan, because no matter what, if I had Pachirisu out first, the Staraptor would immediately U-turn and hit to Electivire. That's why I added Pachirisu, giving it Volt Switch to switch into Sandy so I could one-shot the Electivire, which meant 1 less Pokemon to deal with. And honestly, for the rest of the fight, it wasn't that bad actually. I was able to take down a Azumarill with just 1 Night Slash, but here comes the problem: the Charizard. This Charizard was the bane of my existence. It took down basically everything, except for one thing. Wormwold, that's right, it barely survived on 1 HP. I was so mad, but you know what? I had Shadow Sneak, so I wasn't really too worried, but now I was in a 1v2 situation with a Staraptor, and I wasn't liking my odds. But for some reason, it kept U-turning, which meant that it honestly had nothing to actually beat me with, so I could just take down the Jump Love, and that was it. Man, I got so lucky with this. I thought I had to restart again, but luckily Staraptor had nothing for my Aegislash, which meant I could just slowly whittle it down, keep making it waste PPs, and that was it. My rival down, and now time to take on Giovanni. Is what I would say if turns out that, hey, guess what? We're gonna have a surprise double battle. And I heard this fight was really tough, but I had a friend with me. That's right, I had Brendan with me, and ooh, this is not going to be easy, is it? I mean, Brendan's AI is kind of weird. I mean, have I been calling it Brandon this entire time and not Brendan? Oh my goodness, poor Brendan. But who really cares about him anyway? It's all about me, Tamatoa. And I heard this was one of the more tougher fights. I've seen people faint or end their Nuzlocke on this run, and for some reason, Brandon just helped me out throughout this entire fight. He was clutch. He did so much. I mean, look at that Mega Drain. That was insane. I was like, what's going on here? How is Brandon so good? And that was it. This fight was such a joke. I was actually kind of flabbergasted. I thought, huh? See, look at me pausing for a while there. I was just so shocked. I was thinking, did that just happen? Did we just easily win that on the first go? But now, since the both Rocket admins are defeated, now it's time to take on Giovanni and get to the real boss of the game. Also, Brandon's a troll. He gave me a Trico for absolutely no reason. I mean, I'll take the Miracle Seed though, but I already have a shiny Trico. Why'd you give me this, Brandon? But now it was time for the final showdown between me and Giovanni. And yeah, honestly, the Team Rocket Hideout fight was much tougher than this one. I don't know why, maybe because I had Aegislash and just everything was higher leveled, but this fight was really simple for some reason. I mean, the Kangaskhan really didn't do much, even though Aegislash didn't do much as well. All I had to do was just get Toxic down, and that was basically it. I could just Sucker Punch the rest, because he had a Poltergeist at the end, which was easy to take down, and that was it. I got a free Master Ball. Hey! Now that Giovanni and Team Rocket are gone for good, now it's time to take on the real hard boss of Saffron City, Sabrina, and her psychic types. And Ursaluna for some reason. You know, why does she have a Carla in an Ursaluna? Isn't she supposed to be a psychic type gym leader? Why is she doing this to me? Especially that Ursaluna who just spams protects and then has guts. That is so annoying, especially with Facade. Literally every attempt that I tried would just end because of Ursaluna. I had really nothing to try to counter it, except for maybe a few things, but even then I had to prioritize taking out everything else but the Ursaluna, because for some reason it would just spam protect and not do much. But in the end, that was his undoing. I was able to take down Sabrina and get the shiny charm and get my 5th gym badge. So far so good, but I really do not like that Ursaluna. Ugh. But now since I've done everything I can do in Saffron City, it was time to head down to Fuchsia City and get my next gym badge. And Brendan, what are you doing here? How many times did I teach you this lesson? You're not the main character. I can beat you. I can win, because technically I'm the main character. But in reality, this fight was really annoying. I had a Toxic Spike's first move because every time the Metagross would just explode, which ain't a big deal because I could use Aegislash to just protect myself. Which, this is a really odd fight because at first it was really difficult, but after I literally just did that one move where I blocked myself from having explosive damage, the rest of it was pretty easy. Also, really funny at the end, the poor Exploud just dies for the poison. I mean, poor Exploud, it didn't even have a chance. But sadly, since I couldn't shiny hunt in the Safari Zone because honestly it would just be a big waste of time and a big waste of resources, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go and take down the 6th gym leader. So let's go take down Koga and get my 6th gym badge. And this fight was tough for the wrong reasons. For some reason, my Pokemon just had the worst luck throughout the attempts. I would miss so many moves, especially Earth Power. Earth Power could one-shot, right? You saw that. But for some reason, it would just miss. It would just end my runs because Toxicity would just sweep everything. But luckily this time it didn't happen. So now I actually got the 6th gym badge and I'm 2 badges away from being able to compete against the Elite Four. So let's keep going. Also, I caught this random shiny Swadloon. I have no idea that this was a shiny. I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest, the actual base form of it. And for some reason, I just got a random shiny out of nowhere. Huh. What's in my luck of getting the most random shinies? I swear, this is so funny. Heading into the power plant, I was honestly kind of shocked to find this random JoJo fan just try to attack me. I just thought it was really funny, especially with the Gigantamax Machamp. But honestly, I'm not here to talk about that right now. I'm going to keep it on going in the background. What I do want to talk about, however, is my first ever shiny. Now, I want to know in the comment section, what was your first shiny? Because my first shiny was in Pokemon Diamond. It was a shiny Beebarrel. Or no, not a shiny Beebarrel. A shiny Bidoof. And I thought, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. I don't know why that was my first ever shiny, but yeah, a shiny Bidoof in Pokemon Diamond that I kept at level 100, by the way. That thing went all the way to the Pokemon League, and it actually carried me, which is so funny. Also, I think my second shiny ever was on, does anyone remember Pixelmon? Remember that? Yeah, I had a shiny Graveler in one of the Pixelmon Minecraft servers, which I can't trade because I didn't know anyone that would be able to trade it. I was just so worried that they might just steal it and just take the shiny golem. So I just kept it as a permanent shiny graveler. But I want to know down in the comments, what was your first shiny? Because those two shiny cows, I just remember being so funny because like, no way. A shiny Bidoof and a shiny graveler. That's crazy. Also, this fight really wasn't that tough. I mean, look at that toxic spam. Toxic spikes is so broken in this. I mean, if they had rapid spin, I would have been GG. That would have been it. But nope. The JoJo fan was able to give me a Matchebite, and that was it. An easy victory, and I did get a shiny Zapdos. I was here for something different. So remember all the way back at Cerulean City, where I wanted to get a shiny Mareep to try to take down Misty and help me with Surge. Instead I got a shiny Pachirisu instead, which actually was really useful. I mean, Prankster is just so good. Now is the time to actually get my shiny Ampharos, and I love the shiny design. I mean, look at it. It's purple, and I love being purple. It's so great. It took me quite a while, even with the shiny charm. I have absolutely no idea was this bad trying to get a shiny Ampharos. It took me an hour and a half, and luckily I was able to get myself a shiny Ampharos. I mean, look at it. Look how great it looks. It's amazing. But after I got my shiny Ampharos, it was time to try to head down to Cinnabar Island to take down Blaine and head through the Pokemon Mansion. While surfing down from Pallet Town to Cinnabar Island, I thought to myself, hey, wait a minute. Do I even have a shiny water-type Pokemon? And I scrolled through the list and, shockingly enough, I do not. So I say, you know what? I'm going to get my shiny type right here. And 10 minutes later, I got myself a shiny Kingler. Not what I wanted, but you know what? The shiny kind of looks sick. I mean, literally, this Kingler looks sick. Someone take him to the ER, my god. I decided to name him after EDC because it's a rave crab, and we all love raves here, right? But just as I was about to head into the Pokemon Mansion to get the key to head into Blaine's gym, I was stopped by May. I mean, honestly, I didn't expect her to be here, which is kind of shocking because her team was tough. I mean, that Blaziken was going to rip through my team. And right here, I counted through with Peaches because I thought he was just going to one-shot me, but I realized, wait a minute, I have Sturdy. So I don't know why I just threw with Peaches right there, but luckily I was able to survive an overheat. I mean, man, why, Manectric? Why do you have overheat? Like, that's insane. Also, for some reason, this Breloom, again, this is like the second Breloom I saw that just kept trying to go for a really weird move and just end up in disaster. I don't know why they do that, but the AI is so weird sometimes. But maybe it wasn't too bad, and that was it. Now I can head to the Pokemon Mansion. I got a free Torchic that I could have used, but nah, I kind of like Sceptile better. And I'm going to head to the Pokemon Mansion to take care of Blaine. But I knew after Blaine we were going to be heading into the endgame soon, so I thought we had to prepare first, and that's why I bought myself a shiny Metagross. And for some reason I gave it the hidden ability, which kind of was a mistake. I mean, it should have had Levitate, but I kind of threw right there, but still, Metagross is a fantastic Pokemon. If I can get the Mega Metagross version, it will be lights out for anyone I face. But now let's head into the Blaine fight. I only got 2 words for you when it comes to the Blaine fight. Stealth, Rock. I mean, I really have nothing else to say about this battle. It was just super easy. Even with the Typhlosion having heavy boots, it just wasn't enough. So enjoy the music while you see me decimate everyone with Stealth Rock. But just as we were about to face our 8th and final gym leader, Brandon showed up and told us that Team Rocket was doing something sinister in the Cerulean Cave. So now it's up to me again to save everybody. I mean, couldn't they get the Pokemon champion to help us? Where's he been this entire time? I have no idea. He just abandoned us. And if you played Pokemon Radical Red, you know what's coming up. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but this fight made me rage quit the game for about 2 weeks. I threw up my hands in defeat and said, forget this, I'd rather play Dark Souls 2. Also, if you're interested, you can check out the Dark Souls 2 playlist. I went through the entire game, and playing through Dark Souls 2 was an experience, alright. Here's an example of that right now. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is just terrible. But after I was done with that, I decided it was time to try to take on the Rocket Admin fight again. And yeah, this fight still sucked. But after taking some time to take a break, for once I was getting past Archer with at least 2/3 of my team still alive. But man, getting through Ariana with just 4 Pokemon is impossible, especially with some of them on low HP to begin with. So I gotta find a way to at least keep 4 of my team members fully healthy and just find a way to keep it like that, or else I just might be dead and just have to keep restarting over and over again. But somehow, some way, I was able to win this fight against both Archer and Ariana. That Troll V6 was so intense. And shockingly enough, the only way I won it was because I switched out from Metagross using an Assault Vest to a Citrus Berry. Because I kept thinking, shouldn't Assault Vest be doing good against Mamoswine? What's going on here? Until I realized, oh yeah, Earthquake is a physical move, and Assault Vest only covers against special defense. So yeah, I was kind of dumb. I didn't even realize that until like 30 minutes in my attempts. I switched it out, and that actually saved me. Because I had enough health to defeat the Hatterene and basically get another Citrus Berry off to save myself. Honchkrow, ironically enough, Honchkrow came out and I thought, I have covered. Static came in clutch and I was going to go for a Lucky Thunder, but every time I did, I would just immediately get hit by a Rhyperior. So that's why I knew to switch into Sceptile, which came in clutch again. And I thought, oh my god, don't choke this. I have 5 Pokemon I can use. I can even throw in Peach as a sacrifice. But I thought to myself, please don't choke this. Please don't blow this. And luckily I didn't. This fight, I don't even want to keep talking about this fight. This fight was worse than Surge. It was worse than Morty, and it was just painful. I got so lucky that that static hit the Honchkrow, because I think if it didn't hit with the paralysis, I might have lost this fight again. But luckily I didn't, and now it's time to take on Giovanni and end his reign of terror once and for all. Man, I can't believe I did it. What is happening? Oh my god, it was so exhilarating when I won. Hey, wait a minute. This ain't Cerulean Cave. This is the Seafoam Islands. What's going on here? Giovanni had Ubers and Ultra Beast Pokemon that immediately bullied my team because Lance sucked and he was a dumb AI that didn't do anything. Even with his Primal Lotad, it didn't do anything. I was stuck on that fight for God knows how long. So I said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to try to take on Price. And I gotta admit, one of my favorite underrated megas is Mega Glalie. I don't know why, but the design of it looks so cool. But Price wasn't too bad. I was able to defeat him, and I forgot to show off Jasmine because she was so easy. But yeah, I both beat Price and Jasmine here. So after defeating Price and Jasmine, I had to go back to Cerulean Cave to defeat Giovanni with the help, I'm gonna put a quotation here, help of Lance. And luckily I had a plan, which I'm going to post the plan right here. Now sadly I can't find the original post of who said it. I try to look after when editing, but sadly I cannot find it. So if this is your strategy, thank you. Thank you. Because this fight was so annoying. And I didn't realize just how good Luxray was. Man, it put in work. But the name of the game was to just replace the psychic terrain with electric terrain, which actually helped tremendously, because now Mewtwo can't feed off that psychic terrain and just one-shot basically everything. And Lance did work. Luckily he did bring out the Mega Mewtwo out, because if he didn't I would have to reset. But luckily I was able to get a fake out and just end that Mewtwo immediately, meaning that no matter what happens, I basically kind of won now. But sometimes Lance would just be so annoying. I don't know what's with his AI just being dumb and just throwing, but once that happened, everything was clear, and I was able to take down both the Celesteela and the Excadrill. But ooh, this fight, whoever's strategy that was, I also want to say thank you again. I know I keep saying thank you over and over again, but seriously, that strategy came in so clutch. Shigemaru carried me through victory, and that was it. Now Giovanni's done for good. I can finally take down the 8th gym leader, whoever it will be. But I was attempting to level grind before the 8th gym badge. I caught this random shiny Arctivish just hanging out, and it was shiny. I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? And it was pretty cool looking, and I was able to catch it and name it Ice Age. I mean, look at the design. It looks pretty neat, but I kind of prefer Dracovish, not gonna lie. Even though they're both pretty good, I still kind of prefer the walking fish over the swimming fish. That's just me though. But ironically enough, in the same area where I found the shiny Arctivish, I wanted to find another shiny Pokemon. And what was that next shiny Pokemon, you may ask? Well, it was going to be a shiny Abomasnow. I just wanted to use Abomasnow for the snowboarding ability because, man, that ice comes in so clutch for the next gym battle. And you'll see what the next gym battle is. But for now, I need to add one more party member to my team to help me take down the 8th gym badge. Okay, everyone ignore the shiny Duraludon. I know I said in the previous comments that I was going to get my next party member right now, but I didn't use Duraludon at all. I just got it because it looked cool. And either way, it reminded me of Mechagodzilla 2. Shout out to my Godzilla playlist though, if you haven't watched that, because that game is 10 out of 10. They need to remake that. Hurry up, Pipeworks, what are you doing? But anyway, the real last member on my team was going to reveal itself right now. That's right, I got myself a shiny Apipom. I think you know where I'm going with this. I gave Apipom triple axle and a choice band because we're gonna head out and take on Claire for our last and final gym badge, and this fight was tough. She had Ubers and well, you get it. It's Radical Red. It's meant to be tough. She's gonna have broken Pokemon and bully me until I cry, but not this time. No, I had a plan. And that plan was to use Smallfoot to set up ice, and even though the Aerodactyl got taunt on me, I don't know why I did that because I was just able to one-shot it. I mean, technically one-shot it with the ice. But next up was the Magearna. Now at first I really didn't know what to do against this Magearna. I tried to use the Arctivish and that didn't really do anything. So I decided to switch that out with Peaches, and Peaches was actually the MVP throughout this run. I mean, it's been with me since, what, Brock, and it's been here at near the end. So shout out to you, Peaches. You're the MVP of this run. You were amazing. But luckily I was able to tank a Fish's Ren and take out the Dracovish with just a few skill shots. So far so good. So far so good. But then, yeah, big fat Dragonite. So annoying. I just really didn't like Dragonite. It was just so annoying. But that's why I had Raditz. It can outspeed to use triple axle, and that was it. But next up was the Duraludon. But that's why I had Metagross here, because it can't really do much. I mean, even though you use Steel Beam and just spam Draco Meteor, look how much damage it's doing. I could defeat it. And I did, because Metagross survived on 1 HP. That was crazy. And next up, like I said, what's with all of the Ubers and Ultra Beasts? Give me a break. This is so difficult as it is. I'm playing on normal mode and this is ridiculous. There's a hardcore mode and I am scared to see what that is. But luckily, Red was able to clutch up and I was able to get my last gym badge. Finally, I could take on the Elite Four and end this crazy battle. It's just, oh, I'm so close. Please let me finish in peace. But what's that? Ooh, roaming legendaries are now available. I can get either Latios, Entei. I mean, look at all the, oh, there's a lot of them. Oh my god, wow. That's crazy. But I only got a few. I got a shiny Latios, a shiny Thundurus, and a shiny Landorus. Even though I didn't want to use them because even though they're really good, I just didn't want to use them because it'd be kind of cheap, a little bit kind of cheap. I mean, using Ubers to take on Ubers, where's the fun in that? I want a real challenge. So that's why I didn't use them, even though their shinies look really cool. But now since I got 3 shiny legendary Pokemon, I decided now is the time. Now is the time to head into the Pokemon League to try to take down the Elite Four and the champion. But first standing in my way was my rival. And this fight was really tough, but also really weird. I mean, my rival tried to set up with Barbacle, just use Shell Smash over and over again, but luckily I had Peaches, the MVP of this run, able to one-shot it thanks to Sturdy. And that was basically it. I mean, sure, I was kind of in danger with the Hatterene, but Raditz just kept spamming Triple Axle, and I was able to win against my rival. But now here comes the real challenge. I need to take down Brendan. And also shout, look, hey, I did use MG2 in this battle, even though this is the only time I did use it, and that was it. But now it's time to take on the real challenge, Brendan. So for the most part, Brendan's been kind of a pushover. You know, he got beat up by the Rocket admins. He felt like he was a joke, and it was just a simple fight in the end. But he came back with a vengeance. This fight was just the bane of my existence. It's probably the second hardest fight so far, besides the obvious with the 2 Rocket admin fights, the Trophy 6. But man, Brendan came back with a vengeance. He brought in all these legendaries and all these mythicals. He had Genoci, he had Speed Dioxys, he had a Landorus for some reason, even though he can catch a Landorus here. I mean, there's 2 Landoruses. That's kind of odd. But man, he came back with a vengeance. But luckily, I had a plan for everything. Even though Eric Goodwin did sadly pass away, it was not enough. And here's the annoying part, right? Genoci would spam Ironhead, and all I need to do is just one-shot it with the Wormwood, and that'll be it. But every time that would happen, it would just keep getting flinched. There was one time, I don't know if I deleted the recording or not, but there was one time where I got flinched 5 times. 5 times. It was just insane. I don't know what my luck was, but that, I don't even know what the odds are, but that was insane. But luckily, after a few more attempts, even with the Mega Sceptile, which is kind of scary, I was able to take down Brendan and then head into Victory Road. I mean, man, what's with Brendan? He came back with a vengeance, all these Ubers, and he couldn't even defeat me? For shame, Brendan. For shame. But I was finally out of Victory Road. I mean, it took me a while, but shout out to EDC. Kingler actually did a lot of work at Victory Road, and what? Who? Oh my god. I'm facing the creator? Hello? Are you my creator? With Gigalith? What the heck is happening? What? Why are you? Oh no. Oh no. This is going to be annoying, isn't it? But wait, Shedinja? What are you doing here, Oh, another Shedinja. What are you doing here, Shedinja? Get out of here. Wait a minute. Another Shedinja? What's happening here? Why are there so many Shedinjas and a random Gigalith? What is going on? Another Shedinja? Wait a minute. What? That was it? Huh. Well, that was pretty easy. That's crazy. And he also gave me, oh, a Mega Metagross. I need that. I need that. But he tells me that my rival has become the Pokemon champion. So now I gotta take care of him and secure my place as #1. And I'm not gonna lie, the Elite Four kind of whipped my booty. Yeah, you see what Nurse Joey said? Now go get your map beat. Like, what? What do you mean? And yeah, I did. Multiple times. I mean multiple. I actually had to come up with a strategy on how to beat this, and I might have just done that. But first, I need to grab some new friends. And those new friends are going to be a shiny Psyduck, a shiny Lucario, a shiny Quagsire. If I got to show the footage for it, that's my fault. Comment down below how for some reason I forget to show footage for shiny encounters, a shiny Poplio, and a shiny Dreppy with my shiny Mega Sceptile, because that's right, I'm going to take down the Elite Four using all of these Pokemon. And honestly, I found a video showing a hardcore team with the exact same layout, Deathless, and this team was amazing. It felt like a competitive team. That's how good they were for each different type of situation and each different type of Elite Four member and the champion. Also, this funny glitch happened where I put the shiny Ditto in the daycare, and for some reason it was still behind me, and when I went outside it disappeared. I have no idea what this random Ditto was doing, but whoever lost their Ditto, please contact me. I don't know whose Ditto this is. Okay, so before I head into the Elite Four and take on the champion, I wanted to first highlight my team and show off what natures I gave them each, what type of moves we're working with, and first off we're going to talk about Lucario. Lucario has a 90 nature, which basically gives it plus attack but minus special defense. For the first battle with Lorelei, it's going to hold on to a Lucario Knight because apparently Mega Lucario puts in so much work against her team, especially if it's ice. It basically just wipes out her entire team, which makes a fight from being nearly impossible to manageable at least. And I gave the moves Meteor Mash, Bullet Punch, Flash Cannon, and Detect. However, after Lorelei, if we go to Chuck, I'm going to give Lucario Drain Punch, and you'll see why. Just wait and see. Just remember, I switched Flash Cannon with Drain Punch. It comes in mighty clutch. Also, I gave Lucario the ability Steadfast, which basically being flinched raises speed. I don't think Lucario ever gets flinched here. I don't think he even gets faked out once. but still, a good ability used just in case in a pinch. And after the Lorelei fight, I also give Lucario a focus sash to use instead of the Lucario Knight. But now since we're done with Lucario, it's time to talk about Gosselin, the Golduck. Golduck was really amazing during the Elite Four and the Champion fights because not only did it have Cloud9, which basically negated Lorelei's Ice team, even Lorelei's Water team just in case, but it also did so many amazing things, especially against a Primal Groudon. But you'll see that very soon. I gave Golduck Timid Nature, which basically means increase speed, but lower the attack. Golduck either way is a special attacker anyway, so lowering the attack stack really doesn't do much. And I gave it the moves Scald, Ice Beam, Psyshock, and Encore. And for the item, it says I need to use leftovers, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I accidentally killed one of the Snorlaxes and then saved immediately. So I only have one leftovers. And that leftovers will go to somebody else. But I believe I gave Golduck a Twisted Spoon, which is not that bad, but it really helped with Psyshock. Golduck was still amazing thanks to Cloud9, and it came up clutch, especially during the champion fight. And next up, we got Ghost Goji the Dragapult with Hasty Nature, which basically increases speed but reduces defense. I also gave Ghost Goji a Choice Band, which you get from defeating Jasmine. And for the moves, you got Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, U-Turn, and Disable. Basically, this is just an in case of emergency break glass Pokemon for me. I really use it for only certain type of situations, because shockingly enough, it really didn't do that much, to be honest, even though it only came in clutch at the end with the champion, but it was only because the champion did something really funny that I didn't expect it to do, thanks to the Choice Band. And next up, we got Stefano the Primarina. I gave Stefano a Modest Nature, which means it raises the special attack but lowers the physical attack. And this is one of the Pokemon you're supposed to give leftovers to, but I actually switched in and out between leftovers and Rocky Helmet after the Chuck fight, which shockingly enough, the Rocky Helmet did so much work for me. I was kind of surprised just how useful it was. The moves I gave Primarina were Hyper Voice, Moonblast, Drain Kiss, and Encore. I know for the actual guide it says to use Liquid Voice, but I could not do that because I did not have any bottle caps and I couldn't get the hidden ability. But Torrent did also work too. I mean, it was still very good either way, but I just didn't use the right ability for this one, sadly. And here we have the OG of the group, Jet the Sceptile. He's coming back for one more round, and this time I gave him Hasty Nature, which increases speed and reduces defense. For the entire run, I gave a Sceptile. Not much really changed there, but the moves have completely changed. Because before I was using Leaf Blade, Draco Meteor, Grassy Terrain, and all that. This time it's completely changed, as I gave Jet Dual Chop, Bullet Seed, Mega Drain, and Double Kick. I was kind of surprised at the moveset at first, but Dual Chop and Bullet Seed did tremendous work. I was kind of shocked just how good it was, especially with the Sceptile's ability. Bullet Seed actually did tremendous work for me. Finally, he's here for you. It's the last member of my Radical Red crew. It's Axie Buddy the Quagsire. With an Impish Nature, increased defense and reduces special attacks. With the move Scald, Counter, Guard Swap, and Recover. Quagsire is going to be used mainly as a PP stall and just have leftovers and just keep spamming Recover and even get a Guard Swap in case something had really high defense, but sadly that didn't happen because in the hardcore mode there's a Zamazenta with the shield that you can Guard Swap with, and Quagsire just have super high defense. But in normal mode, it's a Zacian with its sword. Yeah, it was tough. But Quagsire did a lot too. It was amazing. Axie Buddy deserves his moment to shine. But now with my new team ready to go, it was time to take down Lorelei and her Ice-type Pokemon. And yeah, thanks to Golduck having Cloud9, her Hail strategy really became super easy because all I had to do was focus on the other Pokemon besides Ninetales, because Ninetales was just basically there to set up, and Ninetales was basically just fodder for poor Lorelei. The only problem now was her Mega Abomasnow, and that thing I was terrified because now it set up the Hail again and could just spam blizzards. But luckily I had a plan, and that plan was Meteor Mash Lucario. Oh my goodness. But once that happened, Lorelei sent out a Calyrex, and I thought at first that that might be it, because every time I tried this battle, it would just end me right here and there. This freaking Calyrex was so annoying, especially with the ability as one. I thought at first I might be doomed, but luckily I was able to take it out with Stefano, and that was basically it. yeah, not a bad fight. Only took me about 30 minutes in actual time, but now it's time to take down Bruno and his fighting type Pokemon. So let's get into that. Okay, for context, I accidentally forgot to record the Bruno fight because I literally beat him on my first try and I thought I was recording until I looked back and saw, oops, I didn't record it. So I had to reset, go all the way back and beat Lorelei again, and then beat Bruno for the second time. And can we just talk about Bruno's AI here? What are you doing? Bruno keeps spamming U-turn for absolutely no reason. He could have won this fight over and over again if he just defeated my Lucario at like basically the 4th turn or something. Still, I have absolutely no idea what is wrong with Bruno's AI. He did the most stupid things for absolutely no reason. He probably could have won this fight against me, but he absolutely threw for absolutely no reason. Also, just the counter, thanks to Axie Buddy. Look at Axie Buddy go. But still, again, just the spam of U-turns, thinking that you could win just by doing that, was just ridiculous. Bruno is so stupid. It's just ridiculous. It's so funny to me. And that was it. Bruno was taken down. I only had 2 more Elite Four members to take down till I get to the champion. So let's keep going. Okay, so my initial strategy for this fight was to lead off with Lucario, but that strategy was not working. I would get close to defeating her, and every time would just end up in failure. Either Lucario would die, or Ghost Goji would sadly die. It just wasn't working out. But once I switched off and had Safano as the lead, that's when everything started to happen, where I was like, okay, I can actually win this. Because the Mega Gengar, even though it doesn't look as cool as mine, it was able to be defeated thanks to the Focus Sash Lucario. And this is where the problems were happening. The Mars Shadow just kept sweeping me. But thanks to having full health of Ghost Goji, I was able to use Phantom Force and just end it with Jet. Even though, ooh, that did a lot of damage. But even though she had a Hydreigon, it just wasn't enough, as Dual Chop was able to take it down, and even the Spectrier was kind of terrifying. But just a Boom Blast, and for some reason she switched for no reason? She kind of threw there. But anyway, Agatha was defeated, and now I could take on the final member of the Elite Four, Lance. To tell you that Lance absolutely destroyed my team over and over again would be an understatement. He was tough. I kept losing over and over again. He had mythical Pokemon. He had Pokemon from a different game. It was just so annoying. Especially this, look at this. He had a Primal Lotad. Like, give me a break. Why is this even here in the game? That's impossible. But I had to somehow figure out how to defeat this menace of a Primal Lotad. And I think I knew how. Not with Ghost Goji, sadly. Even though Ghost Goji did a lot, it was actually with Stefano. Because for some reason they were terrified of Stefano. That Melmetal just kept absorbing hits, and I would just switch in the Quagsire just to hope and just recover spam. But even then, again, a crit. A lucky crit. But you know what came in clutch? The Rocky Helmet. Yep. The Rocky Helmet actually saved me because it put the Melmetal in red, and I was able just to survive on barely enough HP to get a counter off and end that Mega Salamence. Which, ironically enough, I actually won the game because of that. Because that Mega Salamence was ending my runs. Even if I defeated the Primal Lotad, I would not beat the Mega Salamence. So beating that first was actually huge. Because for some reason, Dialga went to sleep for absolutely no reason. It just kept trying to use Sleep Talk, even though it couldn't do much. And that was basically it. Lance, for some reason, kind of threw because he had no answers to my Primarina. Even with the spamming of Dragon Dance, it just wasn't enough. So I was able to take down Lance, and now finally, I could take on the champion. I am so close to winning. I can do this. I was just so nervous because I had no idea what my rival was going to have. I didn't even look at it because I didn't want to be spoiled. I just knew that I had one Pokemon that was super annoying that I had to take down immediately. But we'll get to that right now. But this is it. After such a long time. I mean, honestly, this whole attempt with Shinies only took me about 3 months. I started this all the way back in June. Yeah, it was difficult. But with so many defeats, so many annoying gym battles, I hate Surge, never forget Surge. This was it. My final battle between me and my rival, and This fight wasn't too bad actually. Even though he had a Mega Metagross, a Primal Groudon, and just all these Uber type Pokemon, for some reason, he threw. And this is what I mean when he said he threw with a Ditto. He turned into my Dragapult with Choice Band, and it only had 5 moves with Dragon Darts, meaning I could easily switch into Axie Buddy and just recover constantly over and over again, forcing him to struggle. And I was just so lucky. If he switched into anything else, I might have lost. Like if he switched into Eternatus, I might have lost. But luckily, that was it. Nothing could beat me. Even though Eternatus was scary, I had Jet with me. At first, I was kind of panicking because I didn't know what to do. Until I realized, wait a minute. I have a dual chop Sceptile, a Mega Sceptile to boot. And even though my Mega Sceptile left the Eternatus on such a little HP, I could just send in Lucario to bullet punch it, and that was basically it. Because the Formosa really couldn't hit me for that much damage, and I kind of threw here, not gonna lie, because I didn't realize at first that I won. I was just so shocked. I was like, wait a minute. My brain didn't comprehend that I legitimately beat Radical Red with only shinies. But then once I realized, that was it. I actually beat this challenge. I beat Radical Red with only shinies. Wow. If you stuck around this long to watch the entire video, thanks for watching. For the next Pokemon challenge video, it might be a little crazy. I'm trying to do Pokemon XD with just everything randomized, which means random types, random abilities, random evolutions, all that business. I might stream it. It depends how the internet quality is for me, because sometimes it's really good, sometimes it isn't for some reason. I kind of blame Spectrum for that, not gonna lie. But if you watch the video till the end, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys for the next Pokemon challenge video. Later, everyone.